Okay, 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 okay. What was computer okay, about
can't give anything. You know, everything I give you now, that is 10 paper like that. I think what we'll do for today, can't be 10 like that. No explanation. They call that best certificate.
standing, we shall take the first two stanzas of the national anthem, followed by the Unending anthem. The chairman of Inaugural lecture, the brand new 11th substantive vice chancellor of the University of America, the learned silk and comrade vice chancellor, Professor Omonkhelin, SAN. Your Excellencies, top government functionaries, your Royal Highnesses, former Vice Chancellors of our university here present, other principal officers of our great university, the Provost, Deans, Directors, the Inaugural Lecturer and family, Professors Emeritus, other esteemed scholars here present, my Lords Spiritual, greatest Unending staff and students, invited guests, gentlemen of press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you heartily to this 330th inaugural lecture series of the great University of Benin. The lecture is to be delivered by a professor of pharmacology and toxicology, Professor Omonkhelin, Josephine, Owolabi. Unending Pharmacological quest, my Odyssey. I now call upon the Registrar of the University, Mr. Owolabi, to formally introduce the Vice Chancellor and the Vice Chancellor's procession. Mr. Registrar.
Vice Chancellor, sir, kindly allow me to abide very prominently with the protocol which has just been established by the University PRO, Dr. Mrs. Benedicta Ihanire. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all courtesies duly extended. It is my very singular honor and privilege, and a rare one for that matter, to preside at this section of our inaugural lecture series today, to present to us the #1 citizen on campus and other eminent and distinguished scholars who are in the Vice Chancellor's entourage. Like I've always said, you don't introduce very distinguished persons. You only merely present them, and I can just merely present. I'm not qualified or worthy to introduce the Vice Chancellor. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are in a moment of history, and it's going to remain in the annals of this university that the 11th of 20 Vice Chancellor of this university is presiding over this assembly for the very first time. Of course, he does not need so much of introduction. Over the media in the last few days, you will always be reading about him at the university. He was inaugurated here on Monday, and he has been a distinguished scholar right from when he started his academic voyage. And as of now, he has risen to the pinnacle, not only work within the university here, heading so many committees and then heads of department before he translated to the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, NILS, in Abuja, where he was director of a very prominent department in that arm of the National Assembly, drafting laws for the federal government of Nigeria. And he rose also to become a senior advocate of Nigeria, combining professorial grade and then topmost in the legal profession. Professor Ejoba Bright Omonkhelin, son. And we know many accolades will be following in quick succession. Also, in the Vice Chancellor's entourage today, you wouldn't mind that we are not having that long park here, but it's being compensated on the other side, where we have a very large pool of deans and directors led by the provost himself. So very close to the Vice Chancellor is the keeper of our treasury, the acting boss of this university, Mr. Gabriel Osadolo. Well, we have accreditation and all the other teams around. So the acting librarian is not immediately around, but standing in for him ably today is Dr. O. Etiosa. On this unusual side is another very prominent team led by the provost of a very reputable College of Medical Sciences, known both within Nigeria and all other parts of the world, Professor Wilson Sado. We have somebody who is also celebrating today because he's a man who is transforming, like a kind of octopus. I used to know him as Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic when I came in here as registered then. He transformed to become director. Thereafter, I transformed to become the Dean, Faculty of Agriculture. And today, he has also transformed to become the Dean of the School of Postgraduate Studies. Professor David is and of course, the #1 student on campus, not citizen, the #1 student on campus, distinguished Professor of Economics, Professor A.C. Godao, Discipline Affairs. And the post-dean of today, who has promised that RSVP, rice and steel, will be very plenty. That's why he's wearing a different apparel from the other distinguished scholars there. Professor Azuka Opara, the and we have the Dean Faculty of Arts, Professor O.B. Osadolo, the Dean School of Basic Clinical Sciences, Professor B.J. Ekanen, and the Dean School of Basic Medical Sciences, Professor Freddy Agoreo. We have with us today the Dean School of Dentistry, Professor F.O. Omonkhelin. We also have with us today the Dean Faculty of Education, Professor Kingsley Omonkhelin, and the Dean Faculty of Engineering, Professor E.A. Okunjo. The Dean Faculty of Environmental Sciences, Engineer Professor Sovio Egiato Irugbe Raphael. Don't mind me studying in Russia, so everything about him look Russian. And of course, we have here standing in for the Dean Faculty of Law, Professor Bright Baswai. The Dean of Life, that's Faculty of Life Sciences, is ably represented here today by Dr. Mrs. Rachel Okoji. The Dean Faculty of Management Sciences, Professor A. Inofe. And we also have with us the Dean School of Medicine, Professor Wilson Osaro-Diago. And of course, the Dean that was always twisting my tongue until I was allowed to use the Chinese version of pronouncing his name. The Dean Faculty of Physical Sciences, Professor E.O. Ayowu. We have with us today the Dean Vocation and Technical Education, Professor Mrs. E.E. Uko Abiomo. We have with us also the representative of the Dean Faculty of Social Sciences, Professor J.E. Aheyisi. And we have with us the Director Center for Educational Technology, Professor Hassan Oahena. And we have also the Director of IPTTO Office, Intellectual Property and Technology Transfer Office, Professor Anthony Ogbebu. The Director of Technical Center for Aquaculture and Fish Technology, Professor Mrs. Ishoma Obo. We have the Director for SDG, Sustainable Development Goal, Professor Mrs. Ujiro Igudu. We have the Director of JUPE, that's Joint University Preliminary Examination Board, JUPE, Professor Tito Hai Airewu. And the Director of Quality Assurance, Professor Peter I. Sede. And we have a man you cannot resist clapping for because he's an orator and he has continued to talk and he's never short of talking, either on the media or in the classroom or everywhere. Former university orator and the Director of University Advancement and Development Office, Professor Eddie Eragbe. And we have a very distinguished woman engineer, Director of Advanced Digital Engineering Center, Professor Mrs. P.E. Orukwe. We have the Director of External Linkages and Internationalization, Professor E.F.O. Inato. I can understand the reason for that long class. He's a pharmacist. Don't worry, when some of us come around, some of us will study pharmacy too. We have the Director of Student Guidance and Counseling Office, Professor Mrs. O.N. Ahie. And we have the Director of General Studies Center, Professor Echosa Ibidosa. We have the Director Center for Mushroom Research and Technology Innovation, Professor E.O. Apaja. And we have also the Director of Institute of Education all the way from Ekewa Campus, Dr. K. Imaswe. You must believe that they are there because blessed are those who have not seen yet believe. Of course, we have the Acting Director, Institute of Public Administration and Health Services Management, Dr. John Osahai. And of course, we have the Vice Chancellor Central today, the Head of Senate Matters, the Deputy Expert there, Mrs. C.I. Egiato. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please let's give a round of applause to all these distinguished and eminent scholars. It is that same spirit that I respectfully call on the Vice Chancellor to present his address. Mr. Vice Chancellor.
Principal officers of the University of Benin, Provost, College of Medical Sciences, Deans of faculties and schools, Directors of institutes, Members of Council and Senate, and Lords, spiritual and temporal, staff and students of the University of Benin, great university students, distinguished invited guests and friends of the University of Benin, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is with great delight I welcome you all to the 330th in the inaugural lecture series of the University of Benin. Today's lecture is the sixth in the Department of Pharmacology and Toxicology, and 21st in the Faculty of Pharmacy. The first to be delivered thank you very much. And the first will be delivered in my tenure as your Vice Chancellor. I wish to solicit cooperation to ensure the greatness of this university. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce our lecturer for today. She is Professor Mrs. Josephine Omonkhelin Owolabi. The title of our lecture is, quote, Unending Pharmacological Quest, my Odyssey. Professor Mrs. Owolabi was born on 14 March 1906 to the family of Sir Jacob and Lady Josephine Boyle of Owolabi, Odyssey. She obtained her first school leaving certificate in 1988 from Victory Primary School, Benin City. She then attended Federal Government Girls College, Benin City, where she obtained the West African School Certificate in 1993. Thereafter, She gained admission to the University of Benin to study pharmacy and graduated with Bachelor of Pharmacy degree in December 1999. Professor Mr. Owolabi was an intern pharmacist with the University of Benin teaching hospital UTH from 2000 to 2001, after which she undertook the mandatory one-year National Youth Service at Federal Medical Center FMC in Odyssey, which stayed from 2001 to 2002. In her quest for more knowledge, Professor Mrs. Owolabi obtained the following degrees from the University of Benin: Master of Science degree in Pharmacology and Toxicology, 2007, PhD in Pharmacology, 2011. Between 2014 to 2015, proceeded for a postdoctoral fellowship program with grant from the World Academy of Science class at the University of Putra, Malaysia, UPM in Malaysia. Professor Mr. Owolabi joined the service of the University of Benin in 2002 as an assistant lecturer in the Department of Pharmacology and Toxicology, and rose through the ranks to the position of professor in 2018. Has held several administrative positions within and outside the university, such as member, Faculty of Pharmacy Committee on Foreign Trained Pharmacists, 2007 to 2013, member, University University Lecturer Assessment Committee, 2007 to 2008, member, University Consultancy Services, 2008 to 2010, member, Task Force on Produce and Process, Fish, 2013 to 2015, member, Committee on Establishment of Herbal Medicine, 2015 to date, acting head, Department of Pharmacology and Therapeutics, 2015 to 2017, and thereafter again 2018 to 2019, Chairperson, Faculty of Pharmacy Ethics Committee, 2023 to date. Professor Mr. Owolabi belongs to several professional bodies and associations, such as member, Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, member, West African Society of Pharmacology, member, Nigerian Association of Pharmacists and Pharmaceutical Scientists in America, member, Cancer Research Drug Discovery, Malaysia, member, Nigerian Society of Pharmacological Sciences and Experimental Therapeutics. She has been honored with several awards, such as Best Student at Undergraduate B.Pharm degree, 1994 to 1998, overall Best Graduate Student. Overall Best Graduate Student with GPA average of 4.5. That's first class. That was 1999. Federal Government Scholarship Board Award, 2004. Stephen Oluwoye Foundation Scholarship, 2005. State B Grant, 2010. World Academy of Science, University, Putra, Malaysia. Twice. Postdoctoral Award, 2014. World Academy of Science, again at the same university, Merit Award winner, 2023. Professor Mrs. Owolabi has successfully supervised and co-supervised 8 masters and 2 PhD theses. She has over 75 publications. Comprising chapters in books and articles in peer-reviewed journals. She was the editor and reviewer on journals such as, she doesn't know what she is, such as Tropical Journal of Pharmaceutical Research, Universal Journal of Science, Tropical Journal of Natural Products and Research, and Pharmaceutical Biology. She has served as external examiner, assessor, resource person to several federal, state and private universities. She has attended several local, national and international symposia, workshops and conferences. That's why Mr. Owolabi hobbies include reading, and I will not be surprised. traveling and listening to music. He's a devout Christian of the Pentecostal faith and the ordained deaconess of the Redeemed Church. Professor Owolabi is married to Dr. G.R. Owolabi, a consultant neurologist in the Federal Medical Center of and the Union is vet with 4 lovely children. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and privilege to invite Professor Mrs. Josephine Omonkhelin Owolabi to deliver our inaugural lecture. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Greetings, dear excellence. It is with great delight and so much joy in my heart that I stand here, aligning myself with the already established protocol to deliver the 330th inaugural lecture of our great university. Our lecture is titled Unending Pharmacological quest, my Odyssey. This lecture is dedicated to the Trinity, God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. And on that woman, God showed so much mercy. I'm alive by the mercy of God. I will forever remain grateful to the Trinity. By way of introduction, I want to thank this great God who holds everything, who upholds all things, and standing here simply by his mercy and by his grace. Despite all the challenges I face as regards my health, yours sincerely, for a year I didn't speak. I was breathing with a tracheostomy. I went in for appendectomy and I suffered severe complications, from vocal cord palsy to grade 4 tracheal stenosis. To a fistula, I was breathing with a tracheostomy. The chief one week after the lecture, I had to get a peg to feed for weeks. Water, food did not pass this mouth. How I survived is by the mercy of God. Some people in my lecture house, they're dead. I am so glad that you have gathered to hear me speak. Miracles. He moves in the affairs of men. He controls times and seasons. And when he still sits down, if not his mercy, I will turn up to him. I also want to appreciate the management for giving me this opportunity. Somebody was asking me yesterday, why you? I said it was divinely arranged. Divinely arranged. I want to sincerely appreciate the Vice Chancellor, sir. I am lucky. I am blessed to be the first. The first to deliver the inaugural lecture in his tenure at Odyssey. Our plan is this. If it doesn't go to arrange it, how can small me be the first to God alone be of the glory? I consider this opportunity a rare one to deliver the 6th lecture from the Department of Pharmacology and Toxicology. Before now, about 20 professors from the Faculty of Pharmacy have delivered their lectures. So I'm making the 21st from my faculty. The title of my lecture is Unending Pharmacological quest, my Odyssey. Indeed, the subject about drugs is unending. There is no end. As long as we're in this life, we keep battling with diseases. It's in the life after that there's peace. New ones keep coming up. Even the old ones, we need to improve on the drugs. So there is no end to the study, to the research on drugs. It's a continuous process. I will therefore be delivering my research experience in the science of pharmacology. Vice Chancellor, sir, before I go into this very interesting subject, I want to say a little about my upbringing. Please permit me, sir. My parents are here today. I am blessed to have both parents. I'd like to witness my inaugural. I don't know how many professors have that opportunity. My dad is over 80, and my mother is over 70, and they are both here. They are both here. I am blessed. My dad taught me diligence and hard work from my formative years. My mother taught me how to pray at a very young age. She would tell me, oh, this life is prayers. Pray and don't become a prayer. This life is more spiritual than physical. These three things are very in life: hard work, diligence, and prayer. When it was time to get into the university, by divine providence, I entered pharmacy. To endorse God's will for me to be pharmacy, I didn't plan it. I made as the best every section. I was a university scholar. I enjoyed free accommodation. And in 1999, I came out with a first class equivalent as the best student in the set. After my mandatory service, I ran into Professor Owolabi. Then he was the acting head of the department. I fell in love with this man. Till date, calmly spoken, softly spoken, loaded with wisdom. You can't be prof and you go back empty. If I this drew me to him, and Professor Owolabi ensured I was employed, then other professors now, and he supervised my MSc and my PhD degrees. He encouraged me to venture into the realms of pharmacology, and that is how this journey began. Vice Chancellor, sir, yes, I just want to say a little about pharmacology so people may not know. Pharmacology is a subject that deals with the effect of drugs or chemicals on the living system. It also encompasses developing substances for treating, diagnosing, or preventing diseases. Now, when you take a drug, every drug you take, the body does something to it. That's pharmacokinetics. And then that drug does something to your body. How it does it is what we refer to as pharmacodynamics. And those are the two branches of pharmacology. So you see, I've been talking about drugs. For the pharmacists, for the pharmacologists, it's all about drugs. So what is a drug? It's any chemical substance which when you can bring about a change in your body. A drug cannot create any new effects. It alters, modulates, tries to correct what is already ongoing. It can even alter your psychology. So that's a drug. And when we trace where the word drug was taken out from, it's from a French word referred to as drug, which means dry herbs. So that gives us a clue that the earliest drugs had their sources from plants. Unending, don't let me know unending, ceaseless, edgeless, no end, continuous, repeat searching. Today is monkeypox, tomorrow cholera, smallpox, COVID-19, COVID-37. They keep coming up. So we keep searching. We must find ways to better the lives of living organisms. With human beings on top of this, it's not just humans. But we keep finding ways. Even the drugs that are already in place, we try to find ways to make sure these drugs have less side effects. So we can say drug research is what? Intermittent. Quest is a long gorgeous set or something you are pursuing something. And pharmacology, we pursue drugs. We research on drugs. Just on a lighter note, you will recall, for most men, how you pursue your wife. You chase after her. Until you capture her. That's what pharmacology do. We go after drugs. Research on drugs till we get them. The only thing I know is that the drugs don't chase us. But today we see women chasing them. I better show you. My Odyssey by Josephine. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please I want to go into my world of drugs. We have worked in 4 major areas of pharmacology: endocrine, ethno, in vitro, and ultrasounds. But I'll be talking about 2: endocrine pharmacology and ethnopharmacology. Now, when we say ethno, it simply means studying substances that have medicinal properties from natural sources, plants, animals, or microorganisms. Then when we say endocrine, we're talking about the effect of drugs on endocrine glands. Now, these glands are ductless glands of the endocrine system. They secrete their products into the bloodstream. These products are hormones. There are several endocrine glands. The thyroid, that thing in front of your neck, that's the thyroid gland that secretes thyroxine. We have pineal, we have pancreas. There are quite enough. Pituitary, these are all examples of endocrine glands. So we have worked on the products of the pancreas: insulin and glucagon. Presently, the cars we use today work with petrol or diesel. That's what moves the car around. We are hoping with time we'll have rechargeable cars. We are working seriously on that. We are hoping with time we'll have cars that work with what? Electricity. But presently, it's petrol or what? Or diesel. So the fuel for the human body is glucose. Glucose moves you around. It's pushed into the cells, tissues, or organs by insulin. So if there's a problem with insulin, you know what happens? The glucose remains in your blood. It gradually builds up, and it leads to a disease condition known as diabetes mellitus. So we worked on diabetes mellitus, we worked on hyperlipidemia, a very serious brother and sister called DM. And then we looked at the effects of potassium adaptation on DM and hyperlipidemia. Some of us already know about DM is overflowed. But I'm bringing in a different dimension today about DM. It's a global public health problem. And the hallmark is that chronic hyperglycemia. When I say hyperglycemia, high blood sugar, high blood glucose. Because the glucose that should be used by your tissues, cells, organs, is not pushed in by insulin. So it remains and it builds up. And over time, it all brings about those complications you see. Increased risk of blindness, heart attack, kidney, wahala, stroke, foot ulcers, the list is endless from that chronic hyperglycemia. Early detection and treatment is very important because it slows down these complications. We have several types. I want to only 3 which we worked on. Type 1, juvenile in children. You just see a little child, high blood sugar. What does that mean? The pancreas is not secreting insulin. It could be an autoimmune problem, or there has been trauma to the pancreas, but there's virtually absence of insulin. So there needs to be a replacement therapy. It's also called juvenile onset. Type 2 is more of an adult over 40. There is insulin, the cells can use it. Insensitivity, some resistance. So the sugar person. So leading to chronic hyperglycemia is more of an adult problem and it's not dependent on insulin. Then it's also worse when you have DM in pregnancy, that's gestational. The report says that 1 person out of 11 has DM. So as you are seated here, on each row, there are more than 11. That means 1 person out of everybody here has diabetes mellitus. It's very so. And this is chronic. How do you know you have DM? It's built into the urine. That's a very simple test. Because the glucose has built up, it needs to flow out through your urine. The urine is sweet. I'm not saying go and begin to test urine. But there's a simple test. Under your toilet bowl, the floor, you see ants. A question of time how to gather around it. A very simple way to know that you are DM. Then of course, it's frequent always urinating. Frequently, you are dehydrated, always thirsty, looking for water. Polyphagia, polydipsia, So people experience weight loss. There's a fasting blood sugar of 1 to 6, random. Don't say fasting before you eat. Random after you eat, 200 milligrams per day causes. It can generate a difference in the family. No, there's a family history attached to it. It increases your risk. I know a lady whose parents are both diabetic. You know what she adopted? She put bitter leaf in all her meals. She's cooking stew bitter leaf, porridge bitter leaf, beans, orange. She mixes everything, fruits with bitter leaf, and it attacks her. So when you know you have that genetic predisposition, there are some lifestyle modifications you have to adopt. So, physical inactivity, we are all corporates. Explain your activity every day. You are seated in front of your laptop, your phone, desktop, all day. How many hours of physical activity do you have? Ask yourself. You climb the pedestal with your hands, you say your heart is shaking. There's a problem. You are not physically active and it's a problem. We need to imbibe. Go back, have walks, daily walks. I was asking my daughter, what is the difference between trekking and walking? She said, Mommy, trekking is long distance walk. I said, this is do it in the morning or do it in the evening. It's very rewarding. Those of you who have complexity, you are lucky. Climb those staircases. Climb it. Keep yourself busy. It's not absence to drive your telephone around. You're almost driving yourself into your office. You use your money to buy problem. Diets. Do you know the unhealthy food are more expensive? Shawarma. How much is shawarma? Pizza. Expensive to buy problem. Eat healthy. Some drugs are causing corticosteroids and viral infection. How do you manage these two folds? Drugs, the non-pharmacology is very important. The drugs, insulin, for those who don't have insulin at all. Those that have insulin, but the tissues are not sensitive to it, not responsive like the tattoo, we give what we call oral hypoglycemic drugs. There are several classes, but I'll only be talking about the ones we work with, so for the urias and biguanides, the benflamide and metformin. Now, these drugs work with non-pharmacology. They are diabetic patients who don't even require drugs. Once they adopt the right lifestyles, healthy lifestyle, eat a balanced meal, add a form of physical activity, lose weight, be healthy in your activity, that's all. You keep that your blood sugar in check. So these two must go together, drugs and non-pharmacology. Also, like hyperlipidemia, another disease condition, elevation of lipids in the blood, total cholesterol, triglycerides, high density lipoprotein, and low density lipoprotein. So one is said to be hyperlipidemic. When total cholesterol goes up, triglyceride goes up, or the low density lipoprotein, which is the bad cholesterol, because that's actually what forms plugs, clots, plaques within the lumen of your arteries. And that one is atherosclerosis. Atherosclerosis can lead to quite a number of other things: stroke, cardiac arrest, hypertension, even mortality. It can complicate the management of type 2 DNA. Potassium adaptation. What is potassium? Why are we looking at potassium in DNA? Now, potassium is critical for normal functioning of the muscles, the heart, and the nerves. Studies have shown an inverse relationship between potassium intake and your blood pressure. In other words, if you increase your potassium intake, it actually helps to lower the blood pressure of hypertension. It reduces the prevalence of hypertension and stroke. So potassium intake does have a positive impact on blood pressure. Several studies have documented this. And you know that hypertension coexists with diabetic mellitus. In fact, about 65% of diabetic patients have hypertension. So we try to listen. Can potassium have the same positive impact on diabetic mellitus that it had on hypertension? And that's what formed all our investigations. One becomes adapted to potassium when we are exposed to high levels over a long time. How? From potassium supplements, from NSAIDs that have potassium, cataplan. People who like to take drugs for every flimsy excuse. You gradually build up your potassium intake, like diclofenac potassium. Potassium sparing diuretics. There are fruits that are rich in potassium. Banana, oranges. So we are saying these things can build up your potassium level. What impact will it have on the treatment of DA? But for us in pharmacology, drug studies, we usually initiate our studies or in vivo studies using animals, experimental bred animals, rats, rabbits, guinea pigs, and that's because these animals are mammals, their physiology is very similar to humans. So the results of these animals can be extrapolated to humans. So for all my studies, we use animals. And the findings from these animal studies goes a long way in interpreting what will happen in the human body. So for potassium adaptation, we get the animal's potassium chloride for a period of 2 to 5 weeks, 0.75 molar orally. This is sad. To induce diabetes, there are two major things that can use streptozotocin and naloxone. We use streptozotocin at a dose of 60 mg per kilogram IP. We confirm diabetes 48 hours later using an accurate glucometer, and by the way, that is a must for every diabetic patient. You must have a glucometer with you, with which you monitor your blood sugar level. So our first study focused on the effect of this potassium adaptation on the lipid profile and the hypoglycemic effects of the metformin in streptozotocin induced diabetic rats. After getting an anti-car approval, which is the most, we divided the animals into groups: normal, adapted, diabetic, potassium adapted diabetics. We gave them the metformin, the sulfonylurea, which I earlier mentioned, as a dose of 5 mg per kilogram orally. And after 24 hours, we monitored some parameters: electrolytes, urea, creatinine, body weight, blood and fasting blood sugar, and the lipid profile. Owolabi 2010. Our results from this first study indeed showed that potassium adaptation antagonized, inhibited the effect of the metformin in lowering the hyperglycemia that was induced by streptozotocin. When we compared those that were adapted to potassium and those that were not adapted, who were both diabetic, potassium adaptation prevented the metformin in lowering, hence the sugar level remained persistently high. In addition, we noticed that the level of triglycerides also went up. We just concluded from this our first study that potassium adaptation inhibited the hypoglycemic effect of the metformin, the sulfonylurea, and it's thus discouraged for diabetic patients who have to use the sulfonylurea. Going forward in our potassium adaptation studies, we introduced amlodipine. Now, amlodipine is a calcium channel blocker used in the management of hypertension. It's an antagonist of the 1,4-dihydropyridine derivative that acts by blocking calcium influx. It's frequently given to hypertensive. It's cheap. It has a long half-life, so it can be given once a day. So most hypertensive patients use it, and those who have diabetes also use it. So we reasoned what will happen if we co-administer it in diabetic animals and potassium adapted diabetic animals. Owolabi by 2011. From these results, we saw something very interesting. Now, the presence of amlodipine in the combination of the metformin antagonized the effect of the metformin in lowering the hyperglycemia that was induced in the streptozotocin-induced diabetic rats. So these diabetic animals had their sugar level persistently high because of the introduction of amlodipine. Meanwhile, the animals who received only the metformin had their sugar levels significantly lowered. So what is responsible for this problem? Amlodipine. Now when we look at the mechanism of action, amlodipine is calcium channel antagonist. But the metformin requires calcium influx to exert its effect. Also we have opposing effects. Something requires calcium, something is blocking calcium. So we thus concluded from this study that amlodipine, a commonly prescribed antihypertensive, may not be ideal for the diabetic hypertensive patients because of the antagonistic effects we observed in their mechanism of action. Going forward, we introduce metformin. Metformin is a big one, also used for managing VA. Now, metformin has the advantage of not causing hyperglycemia like the metformin. So we introduce metformin to the same groups, a different set of animals, and we monitor the same parameters. The metformin was introduced at a dose of 350 milligram per kilogram. Here again, the presence of potassium adaptation inhibits the effect of metformin. Metformin was unable to reduce, lower the high blood sugar level noticed in those diabetic animals. When we compare it to the diabetic animals that received only metformin without potassium adaptation, they had their blood sugar level lowered. But the presence of potassium adaptation antagonized the effect of metformin. But there was an additional thing we noticed in those animals. There was an increase in the good cholesterol by metformin and a decrease in the bad cholesterol. We thus concluded that metformin may just be a good option, if not better, than glutamate when you are treating diabetes. One, it avoids hypoglycemia, and two, it will improve the lipid profile. Owolabi by 2012. Hence, it prevents or protects against cardiovascular risk. And finally, on our studies on potassium adaptation, we introduced insulin. I told you insulin is necessary for type 1. In type 1, there's virtually no insulin. There's a problem with the pancreas. There's absence of insulin. So you must give insulin. So it's also paramount to see what happens to insulin in the presence of potassium. So we gave the animals different doses, 5, 10, 20, 40 IU, subcutaneously, and monitored the same parameters 24 hours after drug administration. We noticed a similar trend. The presence of potassium adaptation antagonized the effect of insulin at the lower doses of 5 and 10. So the sugar level remained high in this set of animals. However, reduction was only possible significantly at the 20 and 40 IU per kilogram. So in addition, there was a significant reduction of triglycerides by insulin, which is a plus. It was concluded from this last study of potassium adaptation that potassium adaptation can also induce resistance to treatments to lower doses of insulin, as we saw significantly higher blood sugar level. Owolabi by 2013. We also investigated some plants. I told you Pharmacology, we did some work. We investigated some plants with activity against DM using the treatment of DM and hyperlipidemia. I'm dedicating this section to my dad, Sir J.B. Okoye. My dad has been diabetic for over 30 years. But to God be the glory, we have successfully taken care of him. He's living a healthy life today. He's a living proof that diabetic mellitus is not a death sentence. He has managed it for over 30 years, both with orthodox drugs, herbal medicine, and a good lifestyle. I pity diabetic patients who cannot be disciplined. You go about drinking everything. You are in every party. You want to eat everything. You are cutting your life short. Yes, something may kill a man, but what you constant. I was at the park, traveling to Omo. I met all of them smoking. I said, who is this thing? Smokers are like, I said, madam, not today. Something must kill a man. So you kill yourself. You smoke to kill yourself. Adopt healthy lifestyle. When you are disciplined, when you are healthy, you live long. You don't need to kabash and pray for long life. Yes, that is important, but do your part. Do your part. So, there's increasing interest in the development and use of plants. We don't close our eyes to plants. Plants are born to stay. The trend is ever medicine. Global. Asia, Europe, America. It's global. So we don't close our eyes. We need to standardize our fine-tune herbal medicine. Because about 80% of developing countries rely on their traditional medicines. See, most of these rural dwellers, even urban, before they present to your hospital, they have tried several herbs. They have cooked several concoctions. Mango, pawpaw, coconut, blended, several. They've tried several things. It works, at times it doesn't work. So we need to standardize it. We need to correct. We need to look closely into herbal medicine. We need to bring them into the institution and standardize it. So some of the reasons why we need to study medicinal plants. Widespread use all over. supposed to be bad, block it. Cheap. They are supposed to be safe. After all, they are natural. They are rich in natural antioxidants and phytochemicals. So what we did in screening these plants was to extract. You have to dry the various plant parts you are using, extract the various solvents, then we gave out standardized doses to these animals that have been reduced with DNA. Of course, for the purpose of comparison, we had normal groups. We had the diabetic groups who were not even treated. Then we had the diabetic animals who received a standard drug like Omonkhelin for the purpose of comparison. And we monitored their blood sugar level. We gave this extract daily for 14 days or at different doses. And we monitored the fasting blood sugar at intervals within the day, within the weeks. And we also looked at the lipid profile at the end of 14 days. Owolabi et al. 2010, Owolabi et al. 2011, Owolabi et al. 2014A, Owolabi et al. 2014B, Owolabi et al. 2015, Owolabi et al. 2016A, Owolabi et al. 2016B, Owolabi et al. 2018. I got down to the number of times we have screened for DNA. I can't say how many, but I'm only going to talk about 2 for time. We see more of it in the lecture material. So I'll be talking about 2 common ones. Bacchia bilobosa and Citrus paradis. We all know Bacchia bilobosa, African locust bean. Yorubas call it Iru, Igbos Oku, Hausas Dawada. My Eastern language, Ubore, native Mali, very medicinal. Interesting plants. So the seeds are used for DNA. Dried, extracted. Then citrus paradis is grapefruit, the bigger version of orange. We extracted the juice, get together individually and in combination. And we noticed when we compare. By the way, this work was by my master's student, Ekperikpe 2019, presently pursuing his PhD in the US. So our results showed significant reduction of the fasting blood sugar level, both acutely and subacutely. And the result is very comparable to the Omonkhelin. You see there's a decline in that line graph, showing reduction of the fasting blood sugar level. The second plant is coconut tree, Cocos lucifera, another interesting plant. I've always wondered as a child how what traps inside the coconut. Who has wondered that? I have. That is God. So the roots of the coconut tree is also another very important plant. The roots of the young tree. We extracted it and gave it to diabetic rats. Of course, there was significant reduction from the 4th to the 24th hour, comparable to the Omonkhelin. There was also a significant reduction in the total cholesterol, which is a plus improvement of lipid profile. Owolabi et al. 2010. Vice Chancellor, sir. We also looked at some plants used in the management of hyperlipidemia, another important disease condition we looked at. I already told you hyperlipidemia is elevation of lipids that can lead to atherosclerosis, total cholesterol, triglycerides, low density lipoproteins. From saturated fats, bakery products, you like to eat cake, biscuits, mince pie, egg roll. If you don't take it with a bottle of Coke, you are not yourself. And then you sit down watching SeaWorld all day, or African Magic, or this Gen Z that spend 12 hours with their phones. They are just on TikTok. From TikTok, they go to Facebook. They come back to WhatsApp. All day, seated in one place, consuming pizza, shawarma, cake. Is that one body? Be careful. Something must kill a man. Don't kill yourself. So atherosclerosis, which is the buildup of fats and cholesterol, within the arteries is one major cause of complications that can lead to death and hypertension and stroke. I already talked about 2 plants, palm tree and Acacia americana. For the palm tree, we all know the palm tree. Palm wine, palm oil, palm nuts. So we extracted it and gave it to rats that were hyperlipidemic. There are several ways of inducing hyperlipidemia. Olive oil, arachis oil. You feed the rats with high cholesterol diets. or you give tritol. We have used all of these models in various studies. You will see them in the lecture material, but I'll quickly talk about olive oil. When you give olive oil at a dose of 5 mg per kilogram, it has become hyperlipidemic. So we introduced the palm tree root extract, and we saw significant reduction of LDL, total cholesterol, triglyceride, and increase in HDL, comparable to atorvastatin, the standard drug used for managing hyperlipidemia. Owolabi et al. 2013. And the last plant I will be talking about is Pestia americana. Pear, avocado pear, you don't know it? Very interesting pear. I love this fruit. Very nice on rice on a Sunday morning. Rice and stew on a Sunday morning. Beautiful plant, beautiful fruit. The seed, very medicinal. Hypertension, diabetes, skin diseases. So we extracted them again to hyperlipidemic rats, significant reduction comparable to atorvastatin, and Naka et al. 2013. And Naka was my PhD students, which should be University Putra Malaysia. Work in Malaysia, Vice Chancellor. I was personally given an award, a grant, by the World Academy of Science, in collaboration with University Putra Malaysia to run a postdoctoral fellowship in Malaysia. We worked on the plants and geographies Pharmacology. There are 3 products: angiographolite, neoangiographolite, and DBAG. Now this plant is known as the king of bitters. It's native to India, Malaysia, Sri Lanka, even in Africa. It has quite a number of many. Most of us know it's king of bitters. Very medicinal. But our focus on the neuroprotective effect of this plant is clear to our neuroprotective effect. It has been well documented and elucidated from its anti-inflammatory, antioxidants, and anti-oxidant effects. So if something is neuroprotective, it must find access to the site of action, which is where? The brain. But the one who created the human body put some barriers around the brain. And one of such barriers is the blood-brain barrier. It's a protective mechanism that checkmates what goes into your brain is such a selective, delicate organ. Things don't just go through. So there's a blood-brain barrier that checks it. Once drugs need to penetrate that barrier to assess the sites of action, you want to look at conversion, Parkinson's, all epilepsy, anything CNS, that thing was crossed. So all we did in Malaysia was to develop an in vitro model of the human blood-brain barrier. Usually, that blood-brain barrier consists of endothelial cells, astrocytes, pericytes, neurons. So we developed a cohort in Malaysia consisting of endothelial cells, human endothelial cells, and astrocytes. We optimized our model by introducing steroids to the tight junctions. And then we introduced these 3 products of angiographies Pharmacology. That's angiographolite, neo, and DBAG. And this was the very first time this kind of in vitro model was developed globally. At that time, we did it in 2015. At the end of 24 hours, all the compounds penetrated through the human blood-brain barrier. AGP first. The blue line is for AGP, the red for NAG, and the last line below is for DBAG. And it showed the penetration through that in vitro model of the human blood-brain barrier over a period of 24 hours. Recommendations by Chancellors. Detailed and continuous investigations on different plants with curative effect on DNA in particular, because it's a chronic illness, it's for life. DNA is not a death sentence. Live right, eat well, take your drugs. You cross 100, 120 as the Lord gives, as He gives you grace. So it's not a death sentence. But unfortunately, there is no drug that can cure. It only manages. But you can cure yourself. Cure yourself. How? Live right. Eat right. Pray. The spirit controls the physical. The spirit controls the physical. This life is more spiritual than physical. I'm telling you, the spirit controls the physical. So search must be continuous. For drugs, if I don't know. I hope we'll get there one day. I hope we'll get there one day. So for hyperlipidemia, hypertension, or coexistence, when you look at the morbidity and mortality arising from DM and its complications, you know we can't rest our hearts. We need to keep working. At times, it's from the side effects of the drugs. The supplementary with their hypoglycemic effects can be problematic, if not well monitored. So research must continue for better drugs, especially from herbs from plant origin that have less side effects. It should be unending. The non-pharmacological aspect of managing DM and hyperlipidemia should be encouraged. Eat right, exercise. I'm not saying go to the gym, but if you can go to the gym, go. But have a form of daily routine where you work out. Let it be habitual. Let it be part of you. Make that your heart work. Let it beat. Let it beat. Fast at a time. Have some form of daily routine. Don't be sedentary. Sedentary leads to a number of complications. Ask the doctors, they will tell you more. Men should be active. I'm not saying overactive, but men should be active. Strike a balance. So all those things should be encouraged. The right diet, exercise. If you're obese, it's very easy to control your weight. If there's nothing like it's genetic, you can control it. I had a friend, the mother was like this. She was going like this, but she watched it. Today she's like this. She was my chief maid. Her mother very large. But when you see her today, so it's discipline. Researchers should be encouraged, especially in the field of herbal medicines, for DM and hyperlipidemia. Through grants, royalties, financial backings, we need to take these studies from animals. It's a safe place to start. It's a good way to start because most of the results can actually be extrapolated to humans. But we need to take these studies further. So preclinical studies, clinical trials, and this requires finance. More of our young minds should be encouraged to venture into the field of pharmacology. When you look at the importance of a pharmacologist and the role they play in drug discovery, let's encourage our young minds. How can we do this? And undergraduate degree program, Vice Chancellor, in BSc Pharmacology program, in University of Unending, I'm advocating that it's something we can look into. And presently, we are already talking about BSc herbal medicine. But other pharmacies are already championing that, like Visa. We already on the course for herbal medicine, BSc. So we are saying, why not have BSc pharmacology? Because the pharmacologist is so important in drug discovery. And this will help to boost the manpower in research of drugs or medicines. In conclusion, potassium adaptation, which is exposure to high potassium level, which is usually unconsciously, it's not something you do consciously. You just like taking diclofenac or any NSAID has. Any small thing is arthritis, is romanticism. Please prescribe for me. Please, we are taking the potassium. Potassium supplements. Fruits that are rich in potassium, we are saying is discouraging diabetes. Banana is rich in potassium. Diabetic patients, I'm not saying don't take banana, watch it. Don't let it be habitual. Oranges, avocado clear. Because it will interfere, it will antagonize the routine drugs used in managing diabetes. Like the bentamine, metformin, or insulin. Potassium adaptation already explained can be from the polyclinic of potassium supplements, potassium ferric diuretics or NSAIDs that have potassium, also foods that are rich in potassium. We are also saying that we should not co-administer amlodipine and the bentamine to a diabetic patient who has hypertension. Amlodipine is a calcium channel blocker. Mebentamine requires calcium efflux to release insulin from the pancreas. So can you imagine? We are giving two drugs with opposing effects. So there's persistent hyperglycemia. So we are saying those two drugs should not be co-administered to be diabetic, think of a different anti-hypertensive drug. You can think of an ACEI, AIB, or you think of a big one like this, but not in suffering. Dear Malaka began to coexist the quite continuous research to develop drugs for plants that are well tolerated that are fear of its side effects. I want to thank this great God who kept me. I told you at the beginning, in spite of all the challenges I faced and because my hands, He gave me a second chance tonight. God is sovereign. He's unquestioning. He's unfactual. He's indescribable. He made all things. He sustains all things. He made this universe. He is His grandchild. He's the great man of His work. I am a living testimony that there is a God who rules in the affairs of men. Just sincerely, I didn't speak. From October 2020, I was done to September 2021. Some people saw me that you. So many people who went through that thing died. I'm alive today. I want to thank the immediate practice because of me. When it was time for me to travel out for treatment, she supported me. May God bless her. And I thank you. I want to take the contact to our authority. Serve the Lord, give you wisdom, understanding, all you need to pilot the affairs of this people. I want to thank my academic father, Professor Ika Mobile. I want to thank all the members of my department. I want to thank the members of the Faculty of Pharmacy. This time you fail me. You will see your names in the material. I only have 4 minutes. When your names are out there, I appreciate everybody. Academic, non-academic staff. Thank God for SU, EDPA, BOSA groups, chairman members of PSN, chairperson members of ARPS, Federal Medicine, all the doctors that took care of me when I was sick. I went through almost all the subspecialties in DTH. I went through almost all the subspecialties in Kaduna. Is it Ife? Abizet? Where did Omonkhelin have been up to? But God brought me out. I thank all the doctors God did. To see that I'm standing here. I thank God for my parents, Jacob Oboya and Josephine Oboya. My wonderful siblings and their spouses, thank you. My extended family members from Ogbe, instrument communities of Owolabi. It's a subject. The exam said that same thing. It's all yeah. I told my family from a war. All I know about beautiful, beautiful family. I know you, but they love me. They love me. They take care of me. My wonderful family in our city. My regional pastor is here. God bless us. Thank you for coming. All my pastor friends. Local pastor courage again. Thank you. Pharmacological of 1999. And finally my children. They made life interesting for me. Beautiful, Joshua, Daniel, Omonkhelin, Mandowa, you are all blessed. And who else? The man of time. The man who completes me. He went with me everywhere. He was my shadow. He was my shadow. I am standing here. Mr. Vice Chancellor.
Can we give this wonderful academy? Actually, what I'm doing, I have done justice to the lecture. I'm very proud of her, and I'm sure that we are all very proud of her as well. I want to thank Daddy and Mommy for wonderful work that they've done in raising this bright mind. And to our husband, I want to say thank you so much for the support. And children too, every family member here, thank you all for gifting us wonderful professor. Thank you so much. It's now time for us to just do a synopsis of the lecture. The title, of course, is Unending Pharmacological Quest by Odyssey. The lecture is an attempt to describe what she has been engaged in the course of her career here in campus. The lecture encompasses 4 major areas of pharmacological research, include endocrine pharmacology, ethnopharmacology, and in vitro studies. Pharmacological study covers the study of natural medicines derived from plants, animals, or other naturally occurring resources, while endocrine PCO encompasses effect of drugs on endocrine glands and their hormones, with emphasis on diabetes mellitus and hyperlipidemia. Pardon me, I'm not a pharmacist, so I don't start. DM, as it's commonly called, is a global public problem, a disease comprising of a group of syndromes characterized by chronic hyperglycemia, that is high blood sugar level. Let me say that my mother passed away because of this condition. It was not quite managed. So I'm a victim of the consequence of this challenge. The lecture evaluates the effect of potassium adaptation on DM, considering its positive impact on hypertension and the fact that hypertension most times coexists with DM. Potassium adaptation is achieved via the use of potassium chloride through different routes. Potassium adaptation can also be for the chronic use of potassium supplements, potassium sparing diuretics, or NSAIDs with potassium. The lecture focuses on the effect of potassium adaptation on the lipid profile and hypoglycemic effect of streptozotocin-induced diabetic grafts treated with thiamazide, metformin, and different doses of insulin. The lecturer also investigated the effect of co-administration of glibin, and amlodipine on the treatment of outcomes of diabetes using streptozotocin-induced in the management of DM and hyperlipidemia. The lecture demonstrates the following, which is that potassium adaptation is discouraged in diabetic patients as it increases the blood glucose lowering effect of insulin and low dose glibin and metformin. Co-administration of amlodipine and glibin. Between both drugs, DM and hyperlipid Unending, can coexist, and the lecturer has shown quite a number of plants that can be used in the management of both disease conditions, such as African locust beans, grapefruit, coconut, palm tree, and avocado pear. However, continuous research is necessary in developing drugs prepared from plants that are well tolerated and that adequately control hypoglycemia without the fear of hypoglycemia as a side effect. You can see that I can easily pronounce the last one. See, the reason why I was explaining was when my mother passed away, I was asking them what was doing for me. He said she fell into hypoglycemic state. And that is a very dangerous state. That's why it's possible. So I think that Professor Owolabi should be applauded once again. Because even from my layman's eye and listening to her, she related with it very well. And it's a problem that is almost of, if not pandemic, epidemic levels in this part of the world. And from what I'm told, it's because of our diet. We do a lot of carbohydrates, and as you described, we live too much sedentary life. Particularly now that we have internet and so on, we are stopped just one place. For those of us who also have parents, our own situation appears to be worse. We have to sit down to study and so on. So, quite frankly, I think Professor Owolabi and all those who are collaborating with her ought to be applauded for the great work they're doing. And let me just say, I think the thing we are taking away from here is that drugs are not enough. We have to also deal with our lifestyle. I think that's what I can do to summarize my work. Now, let me say that I will get something which I apologize for, and that is I did not acknowledge enough maritime because of their presence. So I want to acknowledge Professor Raymond Eli, their presence, emeritus professor, and Professor Ikatua, also their presence, emeritus professor. Thank you so much for being here. Earlier today we met and we discussed. Thank you so much. I want to thank all those who are present. I'm sure the PRO will continue. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Pharmacological Society of Nigeria. Please put your hands together for him. Welcome, Professor Frederick Tyson. Thank you very much. Thank you. The photo session should conclude.